So it is Thursday night, and all I want to do is explore a new Barolo sort of on camera, one I've never had, and it's in the $35 range. A friend recently told me that he thought I lived in this $20 to $25 world of wine, and gosh, I wish I could, to find all high quality wine in that price point. That might have been the case a while ago, that there was a fair bit of quality for that price. Spain, Portugal, maybe even Greece, but in the whites, I'm not going to say California because I believe that is mostly untrue. I think Italy as well with Chianti and some others for sure, but things revolving around the Sangiovese grape, maybe even Nebbiolo on those Longues and Nebbiolo d'Albas. And there's other Italian grapes, Dolcetto, that those prices were in that range. Even maybe France with some lower priced Bordeaux from Castillon and some other areas on the right bank, maybe more so than the left for value. I believe with inflation and everything else in the world, maybe even tariffs, those days are kind of gone. I very excited when I find a wine under $20, but it's happening fewer and far between. So I'm always looking for a Nebbiolo, but a quality one, like a named Barolo Barbaresco, because all the Longues are the ones that are they don't have the same rules as Barolo Barbaresco. They just all kind of taste much lesser, not a little bit lesser, much lesser. So I'd rather spend a few more bucks and kind of get a wine that I really, really want. But before that, I opened up a Silver Thread 2012. This is the Gridley Bluff Point Vineyard. This Riesling is still developing. For a Riesling with this much age, still can go a bit till it gets to that fully developed profile, which I adore. There's a petrol thing in here, which you absolutely can get from Riesling from anywhere. I get it more from Germany. I get it less from Alsace, France, and I get it sometimes in the Finger Lakes. I like it. I know some people absolutely hate a gasoline smell at a gas station. I don't mind it. But if I go into like Bed Bath or a Body Works store, my head explodes with the perfumes. So it really depends on your sensitivity to aromas. It doesn't taste like gasoline, obviously. But gosh, Riesling bar none is the wine I've drank more of in the last 24 months, probably than anything else, of a grape, like one particular grape. I think that's saying something for sure. So I'll do a Corbin pour of this Barolo. Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's going to be steak night. I probably want something a little bit bolder with my steak. Not that Barolo can't pair with a steak. It can. It's just sort of not my favorite of pairings. Kind of craving a Bordeaux. I'll see what's in my fridge. I don't believe I have that many Bordeaux, unfortunately. But we'll see. We'll make it work. So the GD Varga is probably my favorite $35-ish Barolo. Silvio Grosso is a little bit less money, maybe 32, 33. I don't think it's as good as the GD Varga, but this was a new one. And what is this specifically? Let's see. Let's get this thing off first. So this is 2019 which I'm pretty sure is a good vintage out of Piedmont. And Gianfranco Alexandria, and the percentage 14. The back doesn't have anything interesting. So a lot of times now in Barolo, especially higher quality bottles, they will put the vineyard or the region of Barolo Barbaresco on the bottles. That's becoming a thing. That's becoming a thing all over the world. Burgundy obviously made it famous with the vineyard names, single vineyard names. Now Rioja's doing it, Barolo's doing it, Brunello's doing it. It's going to get difficult to discern one from the next. I have a tough time. I'm only just getting my head around Burgundy to a degree. And even then, there's so much variation between just being 100 yards away from one vineyard. So it is difficult. So I'm not sure. I mean, quality is quality. So this smells really good. That is very promising. Classic, what I would call Barolo Barbaresco Nebbiolo, with a floral roses, tar, strawberries. Those are the three aromas that I get when I sniff Barolo. And tar might be polarizing, but it's just a little bit. And it doesn't taste like tar. The aroma's definitely there, though. I've got high hopes. I hope it tastes as good as it smells. On first sip, this is a winner. This is delicious. So all three, roses, strawberries, there's some leather, the tannins there, the acids there. Tastes like a young Barolo. It's tasting like a Nebbiolo. It's not trying to be anything different. It absolutely is what it is supposed to be. The length is there. It's like a medium plus length. For $35, and this could, with decanting, this could only maybe get better. It could also fall flat. This is a pop and pour right out of the Corvin. Yeah, it's really good. That's really good. Better than the Silvio Grasso, probably on par with the Judy Varga, if not the same or better, honestly. Could be vintage variation as well. Never had a 2019 Judy Varga, but this is really good. And I'm just, my eyes are scanning because I want to see if I have a silver thread. Oh, I do have a silver thread there. It's a 2014. Maybe I'll put this 2012 up there since it's older when I'm done with it. It's a memorialized wine. It's what I've been doing as my spirits have disappeared. I'm taking bottles that are memorable, washing them out, drying them out, sticking the cork back in, putting them on as a decoration in my bar. And the collection's grown. At some point I'll probably have to get rid of some and replace them with others, but there's still plenty of room. I do wonder how this will evolve. I do wonder, I think this would pair wonderfully with food because of the acidity and the tannin. This is really good. This is really good and promising. Right now the Riesling would get like a 4 out of 5 and this would get a 4.5 out of 5. So I am preferring this Riesling, this Barolo over the Silver Thread, which, knowing how much I love aged whites, but this is still developing. It is a fantastic Riesling. It's probably a 4.5 also, honestly, let's be fair. It's a fantastic Riesling. But right now this Barolo is singing. As much as I've had some expensive Bordeaux and California cabs in my life, I've never had a super expensive, and when I say that I mean over $200 Barolo Barbaresco. And considering how much I love the grape and the region, I don't know why. That might be something I have to invest in the future. Well, splurge on. It's not really an investment. I'm gonna have to splurge in the future. And if I do that, I'm gonna try to find in that book, something about Italian wine by Matt Kramer, he talked about the modernists, the centrists, and then the traditionalists. I would try to find a traditionalist. Now that book is aged now a bit, so there's definitely some blurring of the lines. I think there's a lot less traditionalists that were just like the old days where Barolo Barbaresco couldn't be drank for like a decade. It was just too furry. Wouldn't mind buying one like that that's already 10 or 15 or 20 years old. I'm sure I'd have to pay more. But that's definitely something I will splurge on in the next year or two, a bottle of a really nice Barolo Barbaresco. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be really awesome. I think that's kind of my next splurge type of wine. Yeah, without a doubt. I want to see what it brings extra. What does it bring? The most expensive I've probably had is $120. I still have a 2015 that at the time I paid $80-90, and it was at the time the best Barolo I'd ever had. Maybe it's a 14. I forget the year on it, but it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Out of this wine tasting, I tasted 90 wines. It ended up being my favorite. So, tells you something. That grape resonates with me, and that region resonates with me. Italian wine resonates with me because it's so versatile with food and on its own and with cheese or however you want to do it. Italy as a country with wine resonates with me. So, gonna just have this Riesling with some cheese. I will be very happy to drink more of this Barolo in the very near future, and I hope next time I just open it or pour in more, it's just as good as this. I will definitely be buying more of this Barolo in this vintage. So, have a good night.